Guys, if you want abs in less than 5 minutes, then this video is not for you. We've all seen those videos and they are a load of BS. What you really need is to focus on your core and the function of the core, which is to transfer force, to protect the spine, to create rotation, to resist rotation, and more. And if you have this functional approach, you will of course get the aesthetic as a byproduct. If you look at your favorite athlete, they are naturally ripped from the training they're doing. They're not ripped because they're twiddling their thumbs thinking, how can I get visible abs? So really just dial in that focus and shift your attention into how can I improve my movement? How can I protect my spine? With that said, I'm going to take you through a routine that I did the other day and one that I continue to return to in my training. And this routine focuses on the 5 primary functions of the core, which are anti-lateral flexion, anti-rotation, anti-extension, rotation, and flexion. This is a follow-along routine, so you can just hit pause after I explain the exercise, go and do it, and then return to the video. Now, if you see something that's very difficult and it feels too challenging for you, keep watching the video because I do go through the progressions on each exercise. Without further ado, let's get started with the first exercise. The first exercise is going to be focused on anti-lateral flexion. This essentially refers to resisting your body from bending sideways. It really helps to train the obliques, and the exercise we're going to do here is a GHD side bend isometric. Now, if you don't have a GHD machine or something similar, keep watching because I'm going to show a variation just after. So for this, you're setting up with your feet hooked into the GHD machine and then your hips resting on the soft pads. And then from here, we're literally just going to take our arms off and try and hold our body in a nice straight line or with a slight crunch so that we're activating our obliques. This is a lot harder than it looks, and you're really going to have to activate your obliques, your QL, all the muscles through the side of the body to hold a steady frame here. We want to hold this for about 20 seconds. It might be the case that first time you approach it, you can only hold it for about 10 seconds, or it might be the case that you need to use a little bit of support. You can hold onto the GHD machine, or you could attach a band if you have a bar above you and then wrap it around your torso. Now, as mentioned, we'll do 3 sets of 20 seconds on each side. However, if you cannot do this based on not having the machinery, or if it feels really, really challenging for you, we can do a Copenhagen isometric. So for this, you're setting up on the floor. Think about holding a side plank, but having your foot elevated on a box or another surface. And then similar to the side bend isometric, you're trying to resist your body from collapsing down towards the floor. That way, we are tapping into that anti-lateral flexion capability. As said before, this is really going to target and engage your full oblique system. The next exercise is going to be focused on anti-rotation. This refers to your spine resisting rotation side to side. Now, this is really important in sport, as we might have players or other external influences trying to twist our body side to side when we're in the game, and having the ability to brace your core and resist that rotation is extremely valuable. Equally, in day-to-day life, if we're able to resist rotation, especially if you're particularly old, when you're going to reach something or pick something up even from the floor, or even balance on one leg, this anti-rotation capability is very, very, very valuable for protecting your spine from going into uncomfortable positions, especially if you have lower back problems. So for this, we're going to do a supine pale-off press. There is no progression or regression for this because it is an exercise that can be easily scaled just by changing the band resistance or by moving closer to the attachment point. For this exercise, you're going to set up with a band attached to a rig or a similar surface, and then we're going to lie on our backs with our knees up towards our chest. We want to try and flatten the lower back into the floor so that we're properly bracing the core, and then holding onto the band with both hands, we're going to extend our arms up towards the ceiling. As you do this, your body's going to want to twist towards the attachment point on the band, and we want to try and brace and engage our oblique system to avoid this rotation. We want to do this for 2 sets of 10 reps, and we're going to work this on both sides. The third exercise in the routine is going to be focused on anti-extension. This is a really important one because we're resisting our spine from collapsing. If you have lower back problems, we really want to make sure we know how to brace our core into flexion and avoid overextending the spine. For this, we're going to do a dragon flag. Now, I know what you're thinking, how the hell can I get into that position? That's a very challenging position and looks quite advanced. Don't worry, I'm going to go through the progressions. For this though, we are going to do an isometric, so we're just going to be holding the dragon flag position. We're not going to be focused on reps because we purely just want to be thinking about dialing in that anti-extension, focused on really tucking under with the pelvis and avoiding the lower back from arching. So you're going to set up by holding onto a rig or a heavy kettlebell or a door frame or something similar, something that you can comfortably get your hands either underneath or over. And then we're simply going to raise our legs up towards the ceiling and try to find a straight line with the body. We really want to point the toes, engage the quads, engage the glutes, tuck the pelvis under, and then we're going to just lower to an angle where we're starting to feel that tension created through the core, and we're starting to feel like our spine wants to kind of collapse and flop down towards the floor. You are obviously going to brace like hell to resist this, and this can easily be scaled by just changing the angle of your body. So you can literally start in what we call a pencil shape, where you're pointing all the way up towards the ceiling in a vertical line, and then progress week on week until you're closer and closer to the floor. Now, even if that straight line position is hard for you, there is a regression in that you could just tuck your legs and shorten the lever. The longer the lever, the harder the position is. For these dragon flag isometrics, as they are quite challenging, we're just going to hold for 15 seconds and we're going to do 3 rounds of these. So far we've gone through 3 exercises and they're all focused on resisting movement. Now, there is a reason we've done this. If you're able to resist movement, so if you're able to resist rotation, resist lateral flexion, resist extension, then when you approach the movement and the force transfer, so movements like rotation, flexion, you're going to be far more controlled. It's kind of like if you were working on pull-ups, you might just hold an isometric at the top of the pull-up, and in turn, that's going to build your control and strength throughout a full rep. So we're going to go into exercise 4, which is going to be focused on rotations. This is going to be in the form of kneeling kettlebell chops. So we're setting up with half kneeling position. So you've got one leg in front of you, the other leg back, and then the kettlebell is going to be on the other side of the knee that's forward. And then we're going to reach across the body. We're going to pick up the kettlebell and we're going to twist our body over to the other side. And we're actively going to drive the elbow of the other hand up towards our ear on the other side. We really want to try and think about generating that power through rotation, but rotation with a braced core. So we don't want to be collapsing into our lower back. That's where that anti-extension comes into play. We want to be really tucking under with the pelvis, pulling the ribs down as we create that rotation. And you should find by doing all these anti-movements first, you're able to find a lot of fluidity and smooth movement in these kettlebell chops. If you're someone who likes to play golf or tennis or baseball or something similar, this rotation capability is really important, and being able to do this rotation whilst maintaining a strong, solid core is going to just give you so much longevity in your sport. So for the kneeling kettlebell rotations, we're going to do 3 sets of 20 reps on each side, and the progression here is just going to be to increase the weight of the kettlebell. Alright guys, let's go into the final exercise in the routine. So this is exercise 5, and this one is going to be focused on flexion, so actually allowing the spine to move through flexion. This is going to be in the form of just a hanging knee raise, so simply hanging on the bar, activating your scapula, and then pulling your knees in and up towards your chest. Now the progression for this is going to be to straighten the legs, so just having the legs fully locked out, fully engaged. You're getting your hip flexors coming into play here, which again is going to help with that connection of the core into the lower body, into the hips, which ultimately will help you to transfer force from the lower body into the upper body. So straight legs, pointed toes, scapula engaged on the bar. So guys, there you have it. That is my core routine. We're hitting all the 5 main functions of the core. There are other functions that haven't been included in this, but they are the 5 main ones that I like to focus on. If you found this routine valuable, I'd love to know what for. Was it valuable for your sport performance? Was it valuable for your daily movement? Was it valuable because you have lower back pain? Please let me know in the comments. It's really good to get that information, and it helps me to tweak my content for you guys. Please hit the subscribe button. It is a new account, so any support at this stage is hugely appreciated. And I can't go without mentioning, I do have slots open for one-to-one coaching with myself. So if you're looking to accelerate your progress and work in a more efficient way with check-in calls, with movement feedback, then just hit the link in the caption and we can have a chat. Awesome guys, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.